time to do our morning show.
Wonder how this will go.
Come and watch two guys grow old. These are the days.
If we get a YouTube feed,
We'll just stream on D-Live then. Mr. We
We
could use a man like Donald Trump
again.
again. I live in a redneck state.
everybody here's irate.
Man, this intro sure sounds great.
These are the days.
Hey, everybody. Boomer Bunker 2 for Tuesdays, September 14th. Boomer Bob, John J. Jamingo here with Boomer News and Boomer Views. How you doing this morning, Mr. John? All right. You know, I love what you guys may not know out there is that I can see John during the intro. We're down here underneath. We can actually see each other. We can't hear each other, but I love watching John cringe during the intro at the sound of his own voice.
That's the truth. Every
There's
time I do that one,
If we get a YouTube feed.
oh, I was like, Jesus Christ.
It just brightens my day. Even though I've watched it a dozen times, it's
Hey,
That's
listen,
right,
I tried to do my best Edith Bunker. You know, it's as good as it gets. I don't know what to tell you.
yeah. Well, let's see. Oh, I hate pop-up. Can we ban pop-ups?
Can we ban?
You know what? I would take the vaccine if people would just ban pop-ups.
Hey,
All these ads.
there you go. Oh, dude, I don't know if I can do this show anymore because every morning, like today, I got on here and I started looking what we were going to go over, and one story after another is the stupidest thing, and the media. It's not even the media anymore. The media was here to give us news and to put the leaders to task and ask them questions, poignant questions, instead of being a lapdog for one side and a pit bull for another. And it's so obvious, and I can't stand it anymore. And it's ridiculous. And then what happens is they think media and the people that run this country, they think that we're all dumb as their followers. They think that we are stupid morons and we're idiots and we can't think for ourselves and we can't have our own opinion. And everything we're going to talk about today aggravates the piss out of me.
Oh, that's why I load the board the way I do.
Oh, good. All right. Well, then this is all your fault.
Why I look for things that'll make us peaceful and relaxed and happy and joyful and glad to be alive, enjoying our golden years, whatever you want to call it. And I'll be damned if none of that exists on this planet in regards to news. So
It does not.
I can't help it. I did find one video that I thought was really good. Since I brought up that I would take the vaccine, I thought this was a good one. See if you agree. Ready?
Oh, here we go.
Sure, I'll take the vaccine. Just mail it to me. Yeah, just like mail-in voting. Safe, secure, and honest. So just pop it in the mail and send it to me, and then I'll give it to myself, and then I'll send back the paperwork saying that I took it and that I'm all vaccinated. You guys trust me, right?
What do you think?
Well, I mean, she's right. I mean, why don't we have mail-in vaccines the same way we have mail-in voting? Okay, buckle up, Buttercup, because this is where it starts. Mail-in voting has to stop. It used to be for people that were out of the country or people that were disabled. They would send in for a form. They would be identified, and you have. Now they're just sending out ballots to anybody and everybody. And now they have it where it is ripe for ripe for looking like fraud. I'm not saying it's fraud. I am saying it's fraud.
And we're not talking about what do you call it? The absentee ballot. Those are normal. That's fine. I mean, I've done absentee ballot before.
Yeah,
So-
if you're like, listen, you have to go somewhere for work or whatever. You're going to be out during the election day. That's fine. But this mail-in voting, just to mail to everybody that's on the voting register, is ridiculous because they haven't been updated. It's ripe for fraud, ripe for ballot harvesting, all that other nonsense that's going on. We need to stop it, and we need to stop it now. Because once this country believes that voting is not fraudulent, then voting is ridiculous, and now we're going to have mayhem. And if you don't, and listen, I understand that the people that are in power now, they love mail-in voting. But when Trump was elected, holy cow, did they scream that there was voting fraud for 4 freaking years. But we didn't have mail-in voting then like we do now. And did you see all the nonsense that's going on over there in California with this recall election? Okay, he's over there. He's over there like Mr.
Yes, I have it muted because I have an ad going right now. Sorry. Yes, I did.
Sorry. You look at me, I'm looking at you during this show, and so your eyes are going 100 miles an hour. I'm sorry. So the two things that really drive me crazy with this is, first of all, in the recall ballots, the one you mail in, because now, because of COVID, we can mail them in. If there's a spot where you say, would you like to recall Governor Newsom? If you check yes and fold it up and put it in there, there's just happened to be a hole in the envelope where that yes spot is. And if you put it in there, they can automatically see yes. So guess what with that? Run that right through the shredder. Run it right through the shredder. Forget that.
So not all of the listeners or viewers may know what the ballot looks like. You have one question at the top: should Gavin Newsom be recalled? Yes or no? Yes. And then if you vote yes, there are options underneath there for who should replace him. There are names of those who have thrown their hat into the ring to replace him.
Right.
And that's it. Right. So, but if you vote no, you want to keep Gavin Newsom, you just don't vote anything else on that ballot, and you're done.
Exactly.
But
so yeah.
I have the video pulled up if you want me. I don't know how well it's going to share because it's on it's on a web page and whatnot, but
let's do it.
It's a news story about just that mess going. This is just one particular polling place here. It's I think it's in San Fernando Valley, Woodland Hills, which sounds very crackered.
A lot of Republicans there.
Yeah, not so.
Oh, here we are in front of the polling place.
I think this is it.
Let's give it a whirl.
Polling places here in Woodland Hills that have experienced some voting problems. Now, the county says those issues have been
I've got the audio all the way up.
One voter in Burbank tells me that's not the case.
So let me understand. About 70% of the votes at this location have been shown as already casted when they were not.
Issues at the ballot box have left some.
So did you hear that?
70% at a polling station says that they've already been cast.
When they were not.
How do you explain that on the day of election with all this nonsense going on? How do you explain that? Somebody needs to be held accountable for this nonsense.
Well, they I don't say give excuses here, but they kind of touch into what they do about it, and I don't care for what they do about it. I don't think it's enough.
Confused, even frustrated, especially after being told they already cast a vote in the recall race.
It makes me question the result, especially when it relates to me and my wife's vote.
Iman Afshar and his wife say they went to vote in person at the Disabled American Veterans 73 polling location in Woodland Hills Saturday, but the record showed they had already voted when in fact their mail-in ballots were still sealed.
Unopened. I asked him, well, what's the solution? He said, well, you can fill out a provisional ballot and vote that way. And I told him I'm not comfortable with that. I'd rather vote on the machines personally.
A similar scene playing out at a different polling site.
Gave her this and she scanned it and said, you voted. And I said, no, I haven't. And she said, this has been happening all
Would
morning.
you believe that woman's 88
The
years
LA
old?
County Registrar's Office says
Very
they
sharp.
encountered issues with the settings on some of the electronic poll book devices used to check in voters prior to issuing ballots. In a statement, the registrar says, quote, the voters who experienced this issue were offered and provided a provisional ballot, the fail-safe option to ensure no one is turned away from voting. After troubleshooting the issue, the equipment at the locations was replaced and voting continued.
What?
But what happened? Yeah, but what happened to all those? And what happened to the people that said, "Oh, well, okay, I guess I can't," and they left? So, okay, so this morning, like I said, I'm so pissed off right now. I'm in such a bad mood right now. So I go to look at the news. Hang on, let me finish the sentence.
Go ahead.
I go to look at the news this morning, and I look at CNN, and this is the headline: News media faces conundrum as Republicans baselessly cry fraud again, this time in California. Is this baselessly? Is this baselessly? I mean, come on. The ballot you can fold where it shows you exactly if you vote yes, well, we can get rid of that one. They can see it. It's not a sealed envelope. And now you go to the polling places, so you make sure your vote counts. And 70% of the people had already voted in a Republican situation. That's baseless. And CNN, you piece of shit, fraud of a news agency, how dare you write these headlines at baseless cry? It's not baseless. You're baseless.
I bet you this particular area, this particular district is, if I looked it up, which I have not, is predominantly Republican.
Oh, I would guarantee it. If I was a betting man, I would bet the house that the area this is Republican.
So they said that after troubleshooting the issue, the equipment at the locations was replaced. What equipment?
Well, they have the voting machines. They have voting machines where you go in.
Okay, did it say that they've already voted on that one iPad? Because I don't know if you noticed, but they're voting on iPads.
Here's the thing. The polling places, when you go to poll, they don't count the votes. In other words, once you vote, then you have to take and sign your name and then make a ballot. The reason that they have these polling stations is so to make sure you don't vote twice.
Right.
That's what these things are for, and they're not working. None of this is working. It's a shit show.
But this is allowing, this right here says that, those who experienced the issue, AKA walked in to vote, and it said that they'd already voted. They were offered a provisional ballot, which is a fail-safe to them. Now they have 2 votes cast, one that they didn't cast, which is probably not for their candidate or not their vote, opposite of their vote. And then the provisional, which they actually casted. And so there's both. So if there's a recount or anything like that, they're just going to count the one that they want.
Exactly. It
lends too much ability for them to rig or to cheat or to sway things in the direction that they want them to be swayed. And I don't like it.
I don't like it either. Technology can be altered. We got to go back to voting like it's 1974. You walk in, you show your ID, you sign the book, they give you a paper ballot, you walk in, you check off the paper ballot, you give the paper ballot back, and both parties are there watching everything. The boxes are sealed. They're sent to the election office. They're opened up and they're counted in front of the Republicans and the Democrats, and they're both in there watching it. And that's how you have an election that is free and fair. This nonsense right here is bullshit. And it's exactly why, and I don't give a shit when anybody says you can go all fuck yourselves. This is why Biden's president right now, because there's no way that there's 80 million people in this country stupid enough to vote for that moron.
Well, when was the last time that you voted at a polling place?
2020 election.
Okay. Well, I didn't know if you mailed in your ballot.
No, I didn't. I went in and I went right to the. It's right across the street from me.
Okay. Was that a pen and paper type of a ballot, or was it like digital? What was it?
No, it was actually one of those
iPads.
No, it's a whole box, and you go in and you push, and it just X, and then you hit the thing and it votes. So you're right. But what they do is they do give you a card, and the number matches the ballot you put in, and then you sign it, you give back to them. So you're right. Even there, they could have.
Well, we're in the 2000s here. We're not in the 2020s. Okay, we get an actual paper ballot, and it's like taking a test with a number 2 pencil. You have to mark in the little dot.
Yep.
Okay, and I went with my mother. Our votes canceled out each other, so that was kind of a waste. But I enjoyed voting with my mother. It could very well be the last time I get to do that, and I've never voted with my mother, so. We went up and we did that. And then when you're done, you put it into this machine that automatically scans and counts it. And I guess all of that's loaded to a USB stick of some sort, whatever. All the votes are counted and everything, and all the data is put onto a memory card of some sort, and then it gets uploaded wherever. So I trust that a little bit more than the totally digital iPad. I don't like that at all. I think if I walked in and I seen all that, I'm going to ask them, is there any way I can vote with a paper document?
Okay. So I have a question, and not to disparage your lovely mother, but she was canceling out your vote. She was voting for Biden.
She didn't like Trump.
Oh God.
She was okay with Trump. But she spends too much time watching the news,
of like most older people do.
Well, yeah. Well, she is either reorganizing all of her cabinets and cleaning, or she's watching her one soap opera and news.
Hey, listen, I understand. I get that. I don't understand watching him and the way he campaigned and the way and everything that was going on. I just don't understand. But okay, whatever.
I know. Hey, I can't. You know, some people just the words that come out of Trump's mouth was enough to make him a demon to them. And despite what he was doing while he was actually in office was actually working for this country, that doesn't matter to people. It's his how he looks in the public eye on Twitter and Parler and whatever, and how the news painted him, and that's all that mattered to them is how you look on Twitter.
Okay, I'll buy that, but here's my problem. Let's go with Trump was an asshole, all right, and he shouldn't have been president. He didn't deserve a second term. Say what you want about COVID and the way he handled that wasn't the best. There was mistakes made, but again, it was the first pandemic we've had in 100 years. So there wasn't really a book on all this. So let's go with that. That's fine. You don't want Trump, but give me something better. Give me somebody else to vote for.
It was Biden's turn.
It's not such a thing as a turn. Give me the best candidate.
He's the first one in my lifetime that I can recall that was vice president that didn't run immediately after his president served 8 years. I think that's because Bo died of brain cancer, and I don't think he was able to run a campaign. I don't think he had it in his heart to do what it needed to run a campaign. Yeah, it had nothing to do with it was Hillary's turn.
Well, maybe it was. Maybe there was some kind of deal going on. I mean, dude, I could put my tinfoil hat on right now and go on a rant about how he should be tried for treason because he is a operative for the country of China right now. Everything he does, everything he's done since he started the presidency has done nothing but hurt this country and benefit China. I said it.
I'm not sure how much more of this there is.
I'm concerned about how it's going to affect the outcome of the vote.
James of Burbank says he went to vote today, but was told the same thing, that he already voted.
Put my ballot in and it kicked it right back out and said unable to process vote.
Like those before him, he was offered a provisional ballot instead. But those will take about 30 days to process. Some are now questioning the integrity of the election.
Whether you're Republican, Democrat, Independent, you should want the technology to work properly and for you to trust it. If you don't trust it, there's no trust in our democracy.
100% correct.
Now, no one was turned away from voting. They were offered the option of submitting a provisional ballot. But again, that will take about 30 days to process. Reporting live tonight in Woodland Hills, Carlos Salcedo, KTLA 5 News.
I
You know,
love how his voice goes into the,
might as well take those provisional ballots and wipe your ass with them. They will.
yeah,
Do
you're screwed. And
Takes
and this is another reason for voter ID,
exactly.
because each of those votes that were already cast, that weren't cast by the person, should have a verification of identification.
The thing is that this mail-in voting is very what's the word I'm looking for? It's flawed. It's a flawed system, and it is ripe for the opportunity of fraud. So we need to do something better, and especially because it's and you know when they'll start screaming. You know when the Democrats will start screaming is when the Republicans are in charge and they're running the elections because they've got their people in there and this nonsense goes on. I don't trust either side. If the Republicans were in charge, I don't trust them either. I don't trust either side. This is why we need somebody in there, just regular old people, to go in there and make sure and watch this and make sure that all these votes are counted. We have voter ID that they say that these are legal citizens and are able to vote, and that these votes are counted. Everybody that's able to vote, their vote should count, and not one vote from somebody that's not able to vote should count. And that's the way it should be. And everybody should be on board with this. Don't just stick your head in your sand because your team's winning. Because there's going to be a time when it flips around and your team's not. And guess what? You'll be over there crying and sorry about your luck. You had a chance. Ugh.
I watched the big three this morning, and I like to kind of flip back and forth to see what is their top story. What do they think is the most important thing? Now, CBS and ABC, it was the tropical storm that just recently hit down there in the Gulf.
It's turned into a hurricane now.
Yeah, hurricane, whatever.
Hurricane, whatever. Douchebag.
Nicholas or Nicky.
Nicholas, yes.
Yeah, Knick-knack, whatever. Patty Whack, give your dog a bone. Of course, it was all about that, and that CBS reported that the climate change is affecting the dead because it's making caskets pop up out of the ground because of all of the rain.
Yeah, well, that happens in that's what in New Orleans they don't have they don't bury them in the ground. They have these little
because they live in a bowl.
Yeah. So, you know how much rain you have to have a casket come up 6 feet and pop out of the ground.
Well, they had one gentleman. I kind of felt bad for him. He said the last time he saw his grandmother's casket was in 2014, and here it is again. And it's like, what are you doing with this? What are you doing? Leave the man alone. Let him rebury his grandmother again.
How deep did they bury her?
I'm sure. I mean, wouldn't you? I'm sure that there's some kind of a code for that.
I don't know about where everybody else lives, but in New Jersey, there has to be a concrete thing that's coated with tar or something so their juices don't leak out, and then they put the casket in that. So, I don't know what they're doing in Texas. Who knows?
So NBC went from the recall election first to boosters to mass infection among children. Now, during the recall election, I caught one thing that kind of made me go, "Oh, there it is." They said the recall election could impact the 2022 elections. So that's why this election is very important for them to make sure it goes one direction.
Here's the thing. If California keeps Gavin Newsom, then they deserve everything they get. They deserve the homelessness. They deserve the shitting in the streets. They deserve the high taxes. They deserve the high property values. They deserve all that shit.
Bike riding gorillas that throw eggs.
Bike riding white woman gorillas that throw eggs. All of it. They deserve all of it. And I don't even feel sorry for them. because
forest fires?
you're too stupid to realize that this guy is a fraud. He takes and locks down all the restaurants and tells you got to wear a mask and you can't go to eat out. And then meanwhile, he goes into a restaurant, no masks
French
on.
Laundry.
Yeah, the French Laundry, and everything. His kids still got to go to school because they went to private school, but your schools were shut down and you had to have, in-house learning. And your kids lost a year or two of education because of his nonsense.
Well, that's one of the things that I noticed about ABC's coverage of the recall election was that they were a little more brutal towards Gavin Newsom. They discussed the French Laundry and the things that he'd done that weren't exactly in a positive light, whereas the other two showed nice photos of him looking all handsome and smiling. What ABC must be mad at him for some reason, because they were showing like images of him like was like his finger up his nose or whatever. They didn't show positive imagery of him, and usually that's one of their tricks, one of their games that they do to make you like the guy.
Hey, Gavin, you're a punk. You're a punk and a bully, and all you had to do was go out there, and Larry Elder said, I'll debate you anywhere, anytime, and he would not debate him because why? Because all Larry Elder is doing is talking about Gavin Newsom's record, and all Gavin Newsom, because he can't talk about his record because his record's horrible. All he does is badmouth Larry and say that, and he's got the press on here. The LA Times said he's the black face of white supremacy. I mean, the racist shit that comes out of the left's mouth and the mainstream media about Larry Elder, they should all be ashamed of themselves. Oh, but you know what? We're for equality and equity and diversity. Yeah, sure you are. Unless it's not your guy.
Okay, so have you ever heard? Let's see, who's come out in defense to help campaign during this recall election for Gavin Newsom? Camel Toe came out. Biden and Obama.
No, and you forgot Pocahontas. Pocahontas was out there.
Right, all the big names, right? The I don't know, Rack Pack, whatever you want to call those assholes, the Broke Pack, the dumbasses. I don't know. I can't come up with anything on the fly, but what does that say to you when they're over here? Obama, all of these, they've all yelled about diversity, and they're campaigning against a black man.
Well, listen,
and a transgender Caitlyn Jenner.
Okay, so here's the thing. You should want. I don't care if Gavin was the best candidate. Then yes, I don't care if he's white or black. The same way, I wouldn't care if Caitlyn was the best candidate with a transgender. What I'm saying is, I couldn't think of it. Elizabeth Warren, Pocahontas.
Yeah,
they're just bringing these people out, and they can't say anything good about Gavin because he's a piece of shit and he's ruined California. They can only go after Larry, and Larry has nothing but good ideas for education and what he would do to straighten out this thing. He has all kinds of policy changes that he wants to do, and they can't have this. They can't have this. Jesus, I don't know. Tammy, you are something else. I don't know if we should put that up there, but I love your comment.
Why would that matter if it's the best person for the job?
Well,
at this point, I would almost vote for Caitlyn Jenner in Alabama up against what we currently have, because she's cucked a little bit for the mandating stuff that I don't care for.
Now, that's another topic we should get into, this whole mandating of the election of the vaccine and everything.
Slow your roll.
I know. But I'm just so infuriated about this nonsense.
So I made a little compilation here. This was me putting this together. So if it sucks, you know why. This is just a few football games, a Brantley Gilbert concert, and a rally in Idaho where Biden was the guest of honor. It's a Tennessee Vols game, I think.
They never did this for Trump.
Crimson Tide, roll Tide, roll Tide.
Well, of course you go to those redneck states.
Mississippi State. This is the Brantley Gilbert.
Oh, I'm here for that.
I actually cut that. It got lame after. This was the Biden thing visit in Iowa. Sorry, Idaho.
Welcome to the
I love this one.
And that's a billboard
In York,
with Joe
PA.
Biden on it, dressed as a Taliban member that says "Making the Taliban Great Again" for the
Which
audio
is exactly what he did. Nobody can be this stupid. Nobody. This has got to be planned, and for what reason, I have no idea. The problem is that he's not running this country. Somebody's running this country, and it's not him. And the everything that they're doing is making America weaker. And if we don't turn around, then we deserve everything we get. We need to rise up. We need to stop this shit. We need to resist. We do. And I don't care what anybody says. And it's been 20 years, and we might as well not even went into Afghanistan.
Oh, they've been grilling old Blinken pretty hard.
Blinken. There's another.
I mean, I don't know what good is going to come out of this, other than they get a bunch of like sound bites and crap to say, yeah, look what I did. See what I see. I told him what I really thought.
And again, he's a moron, and he says stuff falls out of his mouth that he shouldn't be saying all the time. I mean, thank God it does, because we're actually getting, pieces of the plan that's going on over there. I don't know.
He should have been born with Tourette syndrome. Because he's blinking.
Him or me?
Because he's blinking.
Oh, he's blinking. Again, the people, say what you want about Trump. I mean, look at the people that Biden put in Secretary of State, the head of the Department of Defense,
Don't forget Mayorkas.
Right. And then also the press secretary, misinformation herself, Jen Psaki. Time for a palate cleanser.
Uh-oh. Gimme.
Yeah, this is what happens in our school systems
palate
nowadays.
cleanser?
Yes.
Now, this video, again, was held by Michael J. Fox. I don't know. This camera.
Oh, he's jumping around. Hold
the camera straight. Nobody cares. Just hold it straight.
Well, it's hard because you're watching, so you can't believe what you're watching.
So here we have like you do a concert.
We have a poor Asian teacher trying to stop a fight. She's about 5'0", and there's two big black people that are going to fight, and she's trying to stop it. And
I don't think their skin color has anything to do with this. So why did you bring that up?
Because she's a small Asian woman, about 5'0". And
why does their ethnicity have anything to do with this? This is just Americans acting like assholes.
Two big black people are starting to fight in this classroom, and people have already moved out of the way.
So this is white supremacy. Go ahead.
How's it white supremacy? Two black people are fighting.
It's all white supremacy.
Look, this one, get the hell out of the way. And she hits the poor teacher with a chair. Oh, it's a woman. And now she's getting some good old fashioned.
Did you ever think this might be WWE class?
I doubt it, because if we back this up, she stands up. She takes this chair. I guess it's her. It's got boobs. She takes this chair and hits her square in the head with the chair.
Right, like they do in WWE.
Right. And now the black guy, he says, I don't care if you got boobs or not. You're going to get a little taste of, we're going to give you a little whoop ass.
Here's some white supremacy for you.
Yeah, here's some white supremacy.
Take that.
Right.
Yeah.
So anyhow, that's what's going on in schools. But you know what? Thank God they've got their masks on.
Well, I'm also, glad that that right there was critical race theory.
It might have been. I had another story here that went with that. Where is it?
What do you want, the Target clip?
No. It was a teacher I'm trying. Damn it! Why is it my
Give
stuff
you
isn't
some
here?
hold music. I got new hold music, everybody,
Thank
and
God.
it's not for the fainted heart.
Oh, here it is. Sorry. So, that teacher. Jesus
I'm
Christ.
sorry. Are you
Okay,
done?
Yeah, I'm done. A Kansas lawmaker who was accused of kicking a high school student in the groin and threatening to unleash the wrath of God pleaded guilty to 3 counts of disorderly conduct.
Kicked him in the groin, like straight up kicked him in the ding ding.
Kicked him in the nuts. Mark Samsel, a Republican, was a substitute teacher at Wellsville High School, and he was preaching that to the class that the wrath of God is how rap music. Wait a minute. He was teaching the wrath of God and how rap music is wrong, and kids should listen to other types of music. And then, as he was talking, a black boy that he knows was trying to commit suicide, I guess, from listening to rap music. And then a student put his earbuds in, like I don't want to listen to this nonsense. And then he grabbed the kid, threw him up against the wall, and kicked him in the bean bags. Now, I don't believe
rang his bell.
Yeah, now, I don't believe that is correct. I don't believe you should kick him in the bean bags. But there's a lot. Right. In other words, throw the kid out of class. That's all. Throw the kid out of class.
Well, it says here he was a Kansas lawmaker.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I don't know what
state representative.
Yeah, state representative, and also a substitute teacher.
A Republican.
A Republican.
That's how this made NBC.
Yeah, of course.
If this was a lib,
if a Democrat kicked a kid in the nuts, no one would care.
Have to find out about this on Alex Jones.
We would find, in other words, if a Democrat kicked the kid in the bean bags, then it would have been the kid's fault. That's how this shit rolls. All right.
Hey, I got another little ballot cleanser. This
Sure.
will crack me up. It's very quick. This guy showed up to a mask mandate meeting, whatever, in a beekeeper suit.
My name is Eric Soto, and I had a 0.00001 chance of being stung by a bee today.
Point made, I think, right?
Yes. So right now, I guess we did all the election stuff. So I guess we're out of that now.
Let me see if I got anything.
Okay.
You are correct, sir. We can move on to the next category, which I'm going to guess is COVID and vaccines.
Of course it is, because that's all we get to talk about now, because it's all, because of the mandates and everybody's fighting the mandates. And then,
did you see the one of Anthony Fauci from 2 years ago? I think that should kind of lead in.
Oh, guess what? No, I didn't. And you know why?
It's only 45
because
seconds.
they took it down.
Well, I got it.
You got it? Well, let's play it then, my man, because I didn't get to see it.
I thought the same thing, and then I clicked on a different spot in
then you
Trello,
Okay.
and it opened up the right. Yeah, because when I clicked on it at the lower part of the link of the image that's in Trello, it opened up a different page. I'm like, what is this?
Okay. All right.
Now, this is
see.
Fauci from around 2 years ago.
2 years ago.
Not sure who that is right there.
I was going to say, that don't look like Fauci.
Just hush.
To prevent getting an infectious disease and having to have you as my doctor is what? Wearing a mask.
No.
How do you do that? If I can see they're ready to sneeze or cough, walk away.
You avoid all the paranoid aspects and do something positive. A, good diet. B, you don't smoke. I know you don't drink, at least not very much. So that's pretty good. Get some exercise. I know that you don't get as much exercise as you should.
That's correct.
Get good sleep. I think that the normal, low-tech, healthy things are the best thing that you can do, David, is stay healthy.
All right. Well, I'm going to try to do that. And hopefully when I next see you, I will be even healthier than I am today.
I would imagine you would be, and I look forward to that.
Thank you.
Oh, so yeah, he was giving out good advice pre-pandemic. Where's this advice now? Because that would have been, I haven't heard him say anything about that at all since this entire thing.
Listen, this guy has lied and flip-flopped like a flounder on the deck ever since this whole pandemic has started. Nobody believes him. All right. He's just a windbag rattling in the breeze. I don't believe one word that comes out of his mouth. There's very good evidence that this shit came from a lab out of China that he and his organization funded. And they're playing semantics on, oh, well, we didn't do this. Yes, you did. Yes, you did. He should be brought up in front of Congress for lying to Congress. He should be arrested, charged, and tried. That's what should happen to Fauci. Don't bring him in front of me. I don't want to see him anymore. I don't want to hear him talk anymore. Every time he opens his mouth, this is what I hear.
They've already had hearings with him earlier this year that were, I guess, in relation to the gain of function research thing and it being funded by the NIH, which he's part of, and his wife. You know who his wife is, right? His wife is one of the people who approves vaccines.
Oh, is that
no?
it?
Yeah, no conflict of interest there whatsoever.
Well, imagine that. Really? That's weird. That's interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Right now, there are so many people that are quitting their jobs because they don't want to get this vaccine. The companies that have to now mandate them, they're not firing them because if they fire them, they could be brought up on charges. They could be sued. They're going to get sued anyhow. It doesn't matter. So what they're doing is they're saying, hey, you know what? You didn't get the vaccine. We're not firing you. And they said, well, I didn't quit. Well, you just don't work here anymore. And I just love the way they say you just don't work here. So you're firing me. No, we're not saying the word fired. We're just saying if you're not vaccinated, you can't work here anymore. Well, I'm not quitting. Well,
does that qualify them for unemployment?
In some states, it would after, like in New Jersey, after 5 weeks. Yes. I don't know. Maybe not. I have no idea. But this whole thing of, getting vaccinated and making now, I saw that you put this up here and I didn't get a chance to go over it. But Biden told the VA to deny service to unvaccinated vets.
That's like I said, I haven't dug it up, but I did see some articles on it and I didn't have time to dig through it. It was late last night when I caught this. A TikTok video actually of a guy who was a vet. He was an old man with a big old beard and he looked like a biker. And he was like, you know what, boy, if I kick your ass if I ever saw you. Like he was doing that kind of stuff. But it made me kind of dig into it. And I did see articles on it. Like I said, didn't come through them, but it did lend validity to what he said.
Yeah,
so he's denying. He's told the VA hospitals to deny services to unvaccinated vets. So
here's the issue, and I know because they think we're stupid. There is a way to treat COVID where you won't die from it. The problem is you got to treat it right away, and they're not doing that. And there's ways to treat it with ivermectin. There's ways to use ivermectin as a preventative where you won't get it if you're around it. And the people that are pushing these vaccines in the country and worldwide are terrified that this is going to come to light. People are still pushing it. You can go to frontlinedoctors.org and you can get medication. And there is, and again, I got to go back to the wonderful mainstream media because NBC, this is the headline, wrong one. I hit the wrong one. This is from NPR. This is the headline. Doctor spreads false information about COVID. She still kept her medical license. I'm like, okay, well, this must be horrible. So Dr. Simone Gold stood before a crowd in a church and said to avoid vaccination against coronavirus as an alternative, she pushed drugs that have been proven effective for treating COVID-19. Drugs are also offered to prescribe to an audience for exchange. Okay, so basically, if she'll give you these prescriptions, if you get a $90 telehealth appointment, I would take that. I would pay that $90. I would get that telehealth appointment as long as I could get a prescription for ivermectin, and I would take 6 milligrams a week just in case it works.
I did hear on No Agenda during the donation segment, one of their producers gave them a note to read with their donation, and the note basically said that they had come down with COVID and they got a doctor to prescribe them ivermectin. The problem is it took them for some reason, it took them 5 days to get the ivermectin to him, and he only took like a day's worth, and it wasn't doing anything, so he decided to save what he had for, in case like his wife or whatever got it, they could hit it on day one. But because it was 5 days, it was already too late for it to do any good for him. So the point is, have it on hand if you're able to get it, and you want to use that for treatment. Talk to your doctor and have it on hand beforehand.
Well, this is what she said. Don't text me when you've got a positive test. I don't want to hear it. I told you ahead of time, get these medicines. It can take up to a week because we're so swamped. That's why. All right.
Wow.
So again, there's reasons, and they're so upset with Joe Rogan that he got COVID, and in 3 days he was showing a negative test. And again, they don't know if Joe is vaccinated or not. He's never said whether he took the vaccine or not. He hasn't said it. But they're pissed off, and all we got to hear is ivermectin. It's horse medicine. It's horse paste. It's horse dewormer. It's this. Yeah, of course it is. Well, it's great as a horse dewormer. It also works great on dogs for heartworms, and it also works great in humans. It's a miracle compound, and they don't hear it.
I think it's an antiviral, but it's been about a week since the Alex Jones thing where he downed it and yelled on camera, where he washed it down with some kind of a weird
I don't know.
And I haven't heard of him dropping dead yet or taking ill due to taking that stuff.
There was one video where he turned into a horse. That was his video.
Yeah, that was totally not.
I know.
Not of course not. Satire. So one of the things I thought about, just to touch back on, the businesses, because I think the mandate is going through the Department of Labor using OSHA regulations to anybody over 100 employees. Everybody has to be vaccinated. I've seen videos. I haven't pulled the clips because they're not that interesting, but guys like me who own businesses, like, small businesses, and they happen to have over 100 employees, what they're doing is they're breaking their businesses up into two businesses. So one guy says, look, I fired 32 people to bring me down to 99 employees. I opened up another business and I rehired those people at my other business. Basically, he broke it up into another department. And just so now he doesn't have to follow with that damn mandate. Yes, that cost him, I'm sure that cost him a lot of money to do that.
Just say no. Just say no, we're not doing this. Just say no. It's none of my business. What?
Hold on. Small businesses can't do that because each violation is a $14,000 fine.
Good luck. This is where is Congress? Where is Congress in this? They're
on break.
I don't give a shit if they're on break. Bring them back. Bring them back. This bullshit, their job is to stop him from doing what he's doing right now. That's the only reason they're there.
Well, why do you think they do? Why do you think he does it while they're on vacation?
This is bullshit. The whole thing's bullshit.
It's called opportunity, man. Opportunity knocks. Don't be listening to your headphones, man.
And then you can't even go. You can't even go out to the store and grocery shop, because if you go out and grocery shop, nah, I got it, because I'm going to have to stop it. I'm going to have to stop it and start it. Buckle in, people. Oh, it's here. Now, let's take a look at this gentleman. I'm sorry if you're listening to this afterwards as a podcast. Take a look at this gentleman. Let me describe him. He's in green khakis. He's got a T-shirt on with, I guess it looks like two trees. He's got some stupid button on. He's got long red hair, a mask.
His button says that he's vaccinated.
Oh, he's vaccinated. He's got his hands in his pocket. He's got some stupid olive green hat on.
It's a lawn mowing hat. I wear one of those when I cut my grass because I don't want to I'm bald, so I don't want to burn the top of my head.
And this Jagoff is in Target following people around that he finds. I guess this woman doesn't have a mask on. I guess she's walking around without a mask on.
Yeah.
And now he's following her. Where do you get a load of this tool?
Really? You're vaccinated?
Yes, I am.
Oh, you are? Because I already have natural immunity.
Yeah.
You're not going to follow me around in the store and point at me to people. So I will video you.
So we have a state regulation that.
And it's not a law. You're an idiot.
No.
I'm an idiot. Oh, it's a state regulation, and you're going to have to do this, and I'm here to make sure. Who are you? Who the fuck are you to walk
so we're
around
name
here?
calling now? We're name calling now?
Yeah, now we're going to name call? Ad hominem. Ad hominem. Whatever.
Whoop that trick. Get him.
You know what? If I was there, I would have walked right over to Lawn and Garden, got myself a nice rake, and smacked this bastard right over the back of the head with it. There.
I'd have reached over, grabbed the dress, and said, "Here, maybe you should be wearing this."
You know who this guy is? This guy. I wish I could get another.
Come over to the tampon aisle. Say, "Here, you need a whole bunch of these."
And she's there. She is shopping for food. She's in there. She's
minding her own business.
She's minding her own business. And this Jagoff is doing nothing but.
What are you doing? This is between the two of us.
No, it's not between the two of you. She doesn't want anything to do with it. This is you harassing a person that's trying to shop and do business in a business, and you're doing nothing. You're not shopping. You're walking around. You're some self-appointed COVID vaccine mask wearing douchebag, and you're going to go out there and tell a hall monitor, that looks like Opie from the Opie and Anthony show. And now you're out here and you're just going to harass these people. They should call security and have this asshole ejected from the business.
I loved her sandals, by the way.
You got your mask on your face. I'm sure you're
Now look, now he's
vaccinated,
pointing
too.
like a fucking 3-year-old. He's pointing at her.
The badge that says it.
I do. So my wife is a doctor who specializes in infectious disease.
Bullshit.
Walk up and pull the finger.
There's no way that asshole's married to a doctor. There's no way that I almost guarantee that's a lie.
You've
Take
met
a look at
Soft,
him.
right?
What?
You've met Soft, right?
I'll
He's
tell you
married
what.
to a lawyer.
All right, she might but then this doctor must be one homely doctor. If this is what she married and this is all she can get, that must be one ugly doctor.
So you think that she just doesn't know what she's talking about?
Technically, Joe Biden's married to a doctor.
Look at this. Look at this asshole pointing. Look, an unvaccinated. Oh my God, an unvaccinated person. Let's stone her in the public. Ugh. Where's the rake? Right between the shoulder blades. One shot. Just one shot. I know it's violence. But what are we going to do about this? Why does this asshole get to walk around the store and berate customers? What? Why? Why? Ugh.
No, there's a store requirement and a state requirement.
Others do come to her defense, which I thought was really cool because when you look at it on the video, those that are coming to her defense, they're wearing masks. Usually it is the masked against the unmasked.
I know. I scrubbed this so many.
I know it happens on a Mac.
It's
What are you
all of
even
our
in here
job
for?
as a community to come together.
It's all our job as a community to come together. No, it's not. Mind your own business. Go out and do something. It's not your job. No one hired you for this. No one needs you to do this. I don't care what you're. Here it is. His wife's a doctor for daycare.
I don't know if that's true.
I don't care.
I wouldn't.
He's
bet
got his
money on
stupid
that, no
green
offense.
shirt on with 2 pine trees. I'd love to know what that says. Probably it's really written small. It should say moron. Whatever. His job's to come out there and annoy people trying to shop for food.
And make
Shopping,
sure
you're
that
going
people are
around to
shamed.
harass people.
Then make sure that people are shamed.
Oh, he's shaming now. He's shaming.
It's got to make sure that they're being shamed, John.
Yeah, he's out there making shame.
Well, that's my job on here.
Somebody should punch this guy right in the face.
I have to shame John.
He's vaccinated.
I know, and he has a badge on. Stop following me.
Where's security?
They're coming.
So, like, I'm not by publicly shaming me?
It's a public venue.
No, it's not. It's a private business.
Yeah, it's a business. It's not a public venue.
It's open to the public, but it's not like you don't have to have like a membership card to be in there. Like
He doesn't get it. It's not his job to go in there and publicly shame anybody at all.
So how bad would you like somebody to do this to you?
Oh, how do you think that would have went? How fast would that have turned into one of those fights where I would have grabbed him and shoved him into that fucking shopping cart?
I'm not that dumb. I'm not going to go to jail over it, but I would have definitely broke out the phone and we'd have another Boomer Bunker Live short video. Tell you what.
I would have insulted.
I would have fun with this asshole.
Oh, I would have insulted his wife, his mother, his dog. I would have terrorized this guy. I would have
just made him look like an idiot.
Listen, I would have berated him until he took a swing at me, and then all hell would have broke loose.
I'd just start coughing on him.
Oh my God, that would have been the best. She should have just coughed in her hand and threw it at him. Ooh, cooties, cooties. Douchebag.
Hello, faggot lovers everywhere.
Yes. Hello, faggot lovers everywhere.
You're a bad American.
I am. I totally am.
You're a bad American.
Yeah, you're a bad person.
She's a bad person. Oh God.
There's a mob kind of gathering.
Up in the hospital with COVID.
Yeah, did you hear what the lady said? My mom was vaccinated, ended up with COVID, ended up in the hospital.
Yep.
Yeah, well, it's very, very unusual.
Oh, it's very, very, very unusual that happens.
CNN told me so.
Yeah, I love my doctor wife, who's a cardiologist and a virologist and a couple other ologists. Yeah, she told me that this is very, very bad. And since I have nothing to do today, I should go to Target and annoy the shit out of other people to give her a fucking break.
Right, it's not unusual. I just had somebody die last week of COVID.
Specialize in infectious disease. Are you saying that she just makes this stuff?
Yeah, I have a wife. Does this guy have a wedding ring? I got to go back.
What makes his wife the definitive be-all, end-all of knowledge?
Hold on.
Maybe his wife should run for office of some sort so that she can make a difference in the world.
There's no wedding ring on that finger. Let's see if we can find a wedding ring on the other finger. Well, I mean, hey, I don't like jewelry. Okay, me and my wife went through this years ago. I just hate jewelry. I'll wear it when we go out to an event together, something like that. But I really absolutely can't stand jewelry. I've got an Apple Watch. I don't wear jewelry. I have necklaces. I don't wear it. I don't like jewelry. I don't even like carrying a wallet. I like being shirt, shorts, shoes, done, and hat. I'm glad you made this all about you, Bob. But what I'm saying right now
that not everybody wears.
Okay, not everybody, but a lot of people wear wedding rings.
The majority, yes.
And I would say that this guy here would have his wedding ring on, and there's no wedding ring on. I call bullshit on this whole thing.
Since his wife pays all the bills.
Right, and here security shows up. This poor guy's got to put up with this guy.
Are you saying that she just makes this stuff up?
Yeah, I'm saying you just made her up. I'm saying that you don't have a doctor wife, and I'm saying that she's not a virologist, and I'm saying that you're a delusional piece of shit, and you got to leave the store. I don't give a shit what your wife. Where's your wife at? Let me see a picture of your wife. Show me your wallet. Bring up your Facebook. Show me a picture of you with a woman.
Well, if this asshole was in the right, wouldn't the security be on her, telling her, "Hey, you're not wearing a mask. Get out of the store, please, unless you're going to put on a mask."
He has a choice, and you have a choice.
Yeah, the store has a policy. The state has a policy.
The state has a policy. This has a policy. It's none of your business.
Yeah, fuck your policy.
Yeah, you're harassing people. Grab him. Do me a favor. I don't recommend chokeholds, but someone should do a chokehold on this guy and drag him out of the store like he was a wild animal.
He even has a badge on that says it. He's been following me around the store yelling at me.
Are you serious?
Yes. These ladies have been very supportive. I know.
It is disgusting. And look, and they're masked, agreeing with her.
Yeah.
You know, and that's a very good point. They pointed out to him, look, if you've had the vaccine and you're wearing a mask, you're protected. What are you worried about?
Oh, he's out there white knighting for everybody else. It's everybody else that's that he has to go out there. He's got to save the world in his stupid cargo pants and his dumb shoes and his asshole hat.
Hello, faggot lovers everywhere.
Good God.
Do you know who Amber Ruffin is?
I don't think I've had the pleasure, Bob.
Well, apparently she has like I don't know if it's once a week show. I don't know. See if I can dig up the story here. I'm sorry. Here, well, little hold music for you. This is gonna make me take longer to find it.
Bob loves this little hold music. This isn't really hold music, Bob. I like the other stuff that's actual hold music.
Well, damn it. All right, I'll just pull up the video. So she has I think it's a once a week show.
Okay.
I know it's on Peacock.
Peacock.
Yeah. I don't think it's on NBC. Yeah, there it is on the bottom. Peacock.
Okay.
It's a woke. What? I'm trying to get a word here. It's a woke comedy show, I guess you'd call it.
Oh, unfunny. It's
Right.
an unfunny comedy show.
Well, prior to this skit that they're about to do, she did a story about the Texas abortion law where she got out a cartoon drawing of a woman. Of course, it was a black woman, and she pointed out on the woman everything that, my body, my choice, my body, my choice. Well, she said, this woman has an afro. Well, in some jobs, you're not allowed to have that. Well, what?
What do you mean you're not allowed to have an afro?
And she pointed to the mouth and says, you can't just say what you want. You have to say what blah. So she put an X on that. And then it's like, and then she, on the groin, she put a cross because of the Bible says you can't have an abortion. And it's like, what? And then she said, like, and you can't wear whatever, like some jobs you have to wear high heels. And it's like, what job is that? Stripper? Like, what are you talking about? You make it up as you go along.
That's what she does the other 5 nights a week that she's not doing this show.
So this was a bit that they did. Now I tried to pull this from YouTube, and the only video that I could find of it wasn't on any of like Peacock's or NBC's. It was on somebody who has no subscribers, and the video was NBC pulled it. Like it was just a blank screen with the notification that this video has been removed.
Right. Because
so I got this from
to get out.
So this may cause us to get this video pulled. We'll see.
Who cares?
FDA recently approved Pfizer's COVID-19 vaccine, which is freaking great news. Now, a lot of people felt skeptical because the emergency rollout didn't give enough time.
Guess she's Mrs. Rogers.
Well, now they have. And you can relax knowing that there is no poison in the vaccine. Isn't that right, James?
It sure is, Amber. Poison. In fact, we have a song for all those who may still be on the fence about getting vaccinated.
Pfizer vaccine in full effect. Are you ready, James?
This is totally lip synced.
Oh my God. First of all.
You ready, Amber?
Yeah, I'm ready. America, are you?
Girl, I must warn you. I sense that you're causing lots of harm.
Situation is serious. Let's cure it with 2 shots in the arm.
2? What about 3 now?
It's all so ridiculous. Conspiracy theories seen from the start.
Right.
It's also deadly. They believe it because they aren't very smart.
It's deadly.
Yeah. We believe
it's deadly.
Yeah, we believe it's deadly because we're not very smart.
Because you hear about deaths now more than you do cases. Oh, wait, that's incorrect. Why did it jump back? God, I hate that.
Oh, listen, I don't want to. This whole fucking thing is so cringy. My asshole is trying
wait a minute. We're not very smart, John. They just said we're not very smart.
I just said that.
Check it out.
Everybody download the Peacock app. This is the quality content you're going to get.
Right.
Bunch of woke cucking bullshit. That's what you're into.
Ugh. Oh my God. Stop it. I can't take it. I'm going to go get cigarettes now. Jesus Christ. This fucking bullshit.
I'm going to go get cigarettes.
Stop this. Please.
I'm going to go get cigarettes.
I swear to God, I can't say what I want to say. I'm self-censoring myself, and I can't stand it. This shit is misinformation. What they're saying, there's no poison in it. They don't even know what's in it. How do they know? How does that comedian know what's in the vaccine?
Don't you dare call her a comedian.
Right. I'm sorry. I misgendered her. Called her a comedian. What a piece of garbage.
Did you pull the Bill Maher, the Whoopi Bill Maher thing? I mean, that's a long clip, but dude, there's so much in there.
Yeah, here we go. The most unfunny person.
This was on The View, I think, yesterday or the day before.
On The View. Of course it's on The View. Here she is.
Jesus Christ. Is it the s'mores Stay Puft Marshmallow Man?
Baby, hold on, let's find out.
Her hair looks like turd.
No, it's just Whoopi.
She's got a lot of shit on her mind.
It's real time with Bill Maher. He claimed that the division in America is coming from a misguided attempt at inclusion. That's having
a misguided attempt at inclusion. That's it. That's what
opposite effect. Take a look.
I saw last night on the football game, Alicia Keys sang "Lift Every Voice and Sing," which now I hear is called the Black National Anthem. Now, maybe we should get rid of our national anthem, but I think we should have one national anthem. I think when you go down a road where you're having two different national anthems, colleges sometimes now many of them have different graduation ceremonies for black and white, separate dorms. This is what I mean, segregation. You've inverted the idea. We're going back to that under a different name.
All right, so now what he said was we have two, and now we're going back to segregation because now the colleges are segregating dorms by race, and now they're having different graduations, graduation for white people and a graduation
national anthems.
Right. Okay. And that's what he said. All right. And that is true. And you know when that was going on? In the early 60s. And you know when that stopped? When Martin Luther King and a bunch of other people stood up to it. And they took beating after beating and fire hoses and had dogs sicked on them and all that other shit. So we could finally have where there was an inclusion, where there wasn't black bathrooms and black, well, back then it was colored bathrooms and colored water fountains and white water fountains. And now this is what this comedian has to say.
And he went
I got my hand up because I would like to be called on.
I didn't see your hand up. I apologize because there's too much Whoopi on the screen. I didn't see your hand up.
That's a good thing we have widescreens now. Jesus. Or otherwise we'd only see like her necklace. So Bill Maher talks about this is basically reverse engineering segregation.
It is.
But he does the same thing. He's for like segregating the vaccinated and the unvaccinated. So he just needs to shut his fucking mouth.
I agree. Look, again, I'm sitting here and I'm fighting for the people that I'm vaccinated. And I'm saying if you want to take your chance and you get COVID and something happens to you, well, guess what? You made your decision and I stand by your decision. And if it didn't work out for you, well, Godspeed. That's all I'm saying. You can spread the virus if you're vaccinated. You can spread the virus if you're unvaccinated. These vaccines, what's his name? The guy from South Carolina, the senator, what's his name?
Lindsey Graham?
Lindsey Graham. He just came back. He had COVID. He's double vaccinated, had COVID. He had it bad. And he came back and he says, hey, I'm telling everybody to go get vaccinated. You don't want this. I was double vaccinated. It wasn't fun. And he came back. So you're double vaccinated, you're still getting this. And they're like, oh, there's not hardly any breakthrough cases. Bullshit. I'm seeing more and more people get breakthrough cases with the vaccine. So if you can transmit it with the vaccine and you can get it being vaccinated, you know what that tells me? This shit don't work. Bob, you got your hand up. Go ahead.
I don't know of the validity of this. I've never known my aunt and my uncle to be liars, but they're coming for a visit, and I knew that part of the rule was that they're going to come to my mother's house to visit. They're coming down from the Chicago area, and part of their request earlier this year when they planned this trip was that they didn't want any unvaccinated people coming by when they were at my mother's house. Well, at the time that was me, technically. So,
but you had the disease.
I asked my mother, I said, well, am I going to be allowed to come and visit them? I mean, and my mom said, well, I guess they know all about you. And I was like, what does that mean? And anyway, my mom said that they just had their boosters.
Oh, they got the third shot.
Yes. I didn't know that they were doing them yet, but there's also been I know with the Moderna, there's been questions coming from the experts about whether or not a booster should be allowed with the Moderna. I don't know if that's for Pfizer, like if that's a thing that they're paying for to shut down Moderna, or if there's an actual issue and they're actually looking into it. I don't know. So, John, I seen you had your hand up. Please go ahead, sir.
Yes, I did, Bob. And I'll tell you right now, 2 people quit the FDA over the third shot. They don't think that they should be putting boosters out there. And they said, you know what? We can't be part of this. We're not going to get blamed for this. And they up and quit.
I've heard that they've been workers also quitting in the same capacity in the UK.
Yeah.
So quitting their health department, whatever. So yeah, I don't know. So
Good
let's
luck
go
with
back.
this. All right, let's go back to Whoopi.
Whooping on Mar.
To become social justice factories instead of an
Hang on.
so who claim that colleges have become social.
I'm sorry. I got to get back to where she starts to run her yap again.
And he went on to quote a professor who claimed that colleges have become social justice factories instead of an open forum for discussion. I'm just going to throw my 2 cents in. I think because we have gone backwards a good 10, 15 years, we're having to re-educate people. We're having to re-educate people about how women want to be talked about, how Black people want to be talked about, how Hispanic people want to be talked about. And yeah, it's a little bit tough. Native Americans, the Asians,
Pause.
These are all.
Okay, my hand's already up, but go ahead.
What does this mean about how African Americans want to be talked about, how Asian people want to be talked about? What does it matter what you want to be talked about? How about we just talk about the truth?
Here's the other thing. Again, when you go to college campuses, it's not that there's no debate. In other words, they have their opinions, and if you come at them with anything else, you're violent, you're speaking hate speech, because hate speech is anything I don't like. And that's what's going on with college. It used to be a place where you could go and have a heated debate and talk about things and hash things out. Hey, listen, if there's history that we weren't teaching because it was, I don't know, it made people, white people look in a bad light, then we should certainly teach that. What happened in Tulsa? There was where white people came in and basically rioted and killed a bunch of people in Tulsa and burnt down the town. Yes, that should be taught. Anything where there was Ku Klux Klan or
that should work for everybody. Then, if
yes, how
are you gonna teach all the bad shit white man has done, but ignore any of the bad that other ethnicities have done? How is that fair?
I don't know, but the thing, again, history's history. It's a bunch of facts and it's things that happen, and you can go back and you can verify and teach it. And that's what I'm about. But what I don't like is where they come in there and they indoctrinate students in a way of thinking. And if you go and you want to debate that way of thinking, then they just label you as a homophobe, racist, white supremacist, and they don't have to deal with you anymore. That's not what we do in this country. That's not how this country was made. And all this is doing is making people stupider and making them big giant wussies. And she's all for this. But no, because everybody is in college is we don't care what women think and how they want to be talked to and how Asians want to be talked to and how black people want to be talked to. All you do is you have manners and be polite, and everybody will get along. God. Well, this show is the worst show on TV. I cannot believe it has lasted as long as it has.
It's very hard to hear Joy Behar say anything and which she does. It's just like, okay. Whoopi has the diversity thing going. She can, whatever. Get on her little milk crate.
She's the anchor of the show. She took over for Barbara Walters, who back when the show was actually halfway decent.
Right.
Things that I thought we all worked together and got everybody to the point where here's what you can't say. And
she had to have a wider seat.
The Lift Every Voice has always been considered the Black national anthem. It's always been that because the separation of the anthems has been so clear to us. Now, maybe other people don't feel like that, but I feel like, we have to re-educate and retell people. We don't think rape humor is funny.
What? Well, how do we get the rape humor?
And don't listen to people who tell rape jokes.
Listen, of a person who's told a few rape jokes in his career, sometimes some of that shit's funny. I don't care.
How about anal rape, John?
Anal rape. Sometimes some people will make a joke about anal rape.
Cringe of the week.
It could be. All right. If you don't like rape jokes, all right.
Hey, you know what? I don't like Chinese food. Nothing against them personally. I just don't enjoy their cuisine. So guess what I don't do, John?
You don't eat Chinese food because you are a racist.
I don't go to Chinese restaurants.
You know what? You should eat Chinese food because that's an insult to Asian people around the world.
We don't think, talk about Native Americans in a really despicable way. It's funny. It's not funny. And we have to re-educate. So
we have to re-educate, okay? We have to re-educate everybody to think the way we think. You don't get a chance to think what you think. What you find funny, we don't find funny, so you're not allowed to find this funny, all right? This whole speak right here is exactly what Bill Maher was talking about, and she's doubling down, and now let's go to the white girl to back us all up.
Think that's a good idea, or are people taking this too far, too long?
Well, I agree with his specific comment that our national anthem may not be adequate. There's so many problems with who wrote it, the words.
Really?
What's wrong with it?
I have no idea. But here's what happens. We got a white chick, a blonde white chick, and now she's going to tell us that, that's terrible. The guy, Francis Scott Key. What's wrong with Francis Scott Key? I've never heard anything bad about him. He did one thing. He wrote a poem, and they made it a song, and they turned it into the national anthem. And now all of a sudden, he's a piece of shit.
How many white people are currently on The View? Do you know?
We'll count. Hang on. Let's back it up because they went.
Is there a view of the whole table?
There we go.
Okay. Hold on. White people are grossly misrepresented here.
No, there's three. There's three white people and two black people. Notice how?
Okay. So then black people are grossly overrepresented.
Listen.
Because they are 40% of the show when they're only 13% of the population.
Look at the box that Whoopi's got to step on. She's got to put the box. Jesus Christ. All right. She's got her pajamas on. She's got her jacket on. Look. I'm sorry. Let's get back to the white chick.
Specific comment that our national anthem may not be adequate. There's so many problems with who wrote it, the words, specifically the third stanza. Like there's so many problems with it. But I understood actually what he was saying by having one, meaning like it doesn't mean we have the answer to it because our anthem isn't adequate and it doesn't attend to all of the people in this country in a good way. But I do think there's an overcorrection to the other side when you start separating people out like that. the example he gave about colleges also jumped out at me. When you celebrate a graduation, when you keep dividing people, you're almost becoming what you hated in the first place, which is that division, not that unity. So I did understand what he was saying in this particular example.
Yeah, but maybe that's got validity.
Here we go. Now we need an old, broken down comedian to come in here, because see what happened was they thought that the white chick was going to, agree with Whoopi. I can't speak. And she didn't do a good job. So now we got to go over to the white apologist, Joy Behar. Joy, let's find out what you got to say.
Campuses, but the national anthem does not appeal to Black America for very good reason.
Come up with a new anthem. I think the point was that it's too.
But it never appealed to. I'll read you the lines that you were talking about.
No, I know that. I don't think our anthem
no
is
refuge,
the answer.
no refuge could save the hireling and slave from the terror of flight or the gloom of the grave. In other words, don't be escaping.
What?
That is in the third stanza, whatever you call it, verse of the.
That's in the national anthem?
There, it's longer than what you normally have heard. You've really only heard the first verse.
There's more to the national anthem?
Oh yeah.
I did not know this.
It's an entire long song. Yes.
I had no idea that there was more
verses.
It has 4 verses, and we only sing the first at the. Are you serious?
Yes.
Is that true? I'm befuddled. I had no idea. Maybe they're all right. I don't know. Okay. So then at least the first part that we sing is okay. No one even sings
the other part.
What?
We don't sing the other part at events and whatnot.
Right. We don't sing it.
How about we listen to some of the modern, hip hop music, and then let's attack that. Now, while I'm aware that that's not necessarily fair because we don't make those songs our national anthem, I don't see the national anthem trending on YouTube.
Can I ask you a question? How in the hell in today's society and with everything that's going on and the division in this country, could we make a national anthem where both sides or everybody would go, you know what? Yeah, I like that. Because I know that if these people make the national anthem, I'm not going to like it because it's going to be some woke garbage about, inclusion and equity and and mediocrity.
I have an entry for the national anthem contest that I'd like to submit.
Hey.
Yeah. I think that'd be great. And I think it would be accurate.
All right. Are we done with this now? Because I can't take her anymore. Do you want to finish this out?
Oh, yeah. I would like her out of my face. That would be great. I'm having to look away at other things.
Oh, my God.
So I just wanted to call out Bill Maher's hypocrisy about complaining about this is reverse segregation, blah, blah, blah. Dude, you support segregation of vaccinated and unvaccinated people. So why would you not support it elsewhere too?
Well, I mean, okay. So I understand what you're saying, that he believes that everybody should be vaccinated. But and I don't know how he feels about mandates. I don't know. I didn't listen to the whole show. But what he's talking about here in colleges and what he's talking about that, how they're trying to take and segregate the American people by race is absolutely true. They want to make that. I mean, look at the way they were talking about that one place where they're in, where was it, in Georgia? They were going to make a black town and you could only live there if you were black.
I think that was in Colorado, actually.
I thought
Colorado.
it was
No, it's Colorado.
No, that was the one that was way up in the mountains.
Yeah.
Right. There's another one in Georgia. I think it was called Independence Place or some kind of
I don't know.
Whatever. And they were going to buy the land and build a town, and you could only live there if you were black.
Yeah. Well, there was one, they had like their own website and they were taking donations to get it going. And they had something like $36,000 or something like that. And that, like, what is that going to buy? Nothing.
They took that money and ran, and then everybody forgets about, hey, where's that town that we were going to move to where there was all black people?
I thought I bought an acre in Blackville.
Yeah, it's called Baltimore.
Damn.
Christ. All right.
Well, I got one more video before we go.
Sure. Let's do an hour and a half today, Bob. There's that frog. Oh, sweet child of mine.
There you go.
You know what? I feel better. This morning I was in real bad mood. An hour and 24 minutes of ranting like a lunatic, and I feel a little bit better, Bob. I got to tell you.
It's 2 for Tuesday. I don't know why I'm echoing now.
I don't know. You're not echoing here.
It's 2 for Tuesday, so you get 2 dad jokes for one low price. Why was the broom late for work?
I don't know.
It overswept.
Overswept.
And how do you organize a party in space? You plan it.
Okay, that works. All right, everybody. Like it or not, we'll be back here tomorrow. Say goodbye, Bob.
Subscribe.
Yes. Tell your friends about our
comply. Subscribe. Obey.
Obey. Get your vaccine or not.
Get your Boomer Bunker vaccine every morning.